Hello, and welcome to one of our homes. We care a lot about our properties and our residents, and our goal is to have a great relationship with you and to maintain the quality of our homes. Our hope is that this video will help us all to be on the same page and to avoid challenges which can creep up from time to time. How to contact us. Email is always best at info@keyrentertulsa.com. Phone 918-351-7000. For maintenance, submit your request through your portal at keyrentertulsa.com. For maintenance emergencies, call 918-351-7000, option 9. If you need to meet in person, please schedule an appointment in advance, as we may be out of the office at one of our properties. Feel free at any time to check out some of our resident resources found at keyrentertulsa.com. If your property is within an HOA, you are required to adhere to its rules and regulations just as any other resident. Please familiarize yourself with them. Your rent is due on the 1st. There may be a grace period before a late fee starts, but we suggest you be ahead. Our zero tolerance policy means that we simply have to treat everyone the same and enforce the lease as it's written. You can pay online through your tenant portal with ACH for free. You can even set up free recurring payments. You can pay with a credit card, but there's a hefty fee which goes to our software company for processing. You can also pay with cash at any CVS, Ace Cash Express, or Casey's General Store. A nominal service fee may apply. But if you are late or your payment bounces, you will have to drive in a certified cashier's bank check for the full amount plus all fees. This is costly and a real pain, so please do all possible to avoid it. And if late past the 6th, you'll get a 5-day pay or quit notice posted on your front door for everyone to see. This will cost you more fees and is a major hassle. It's not fun for us either, and we hate to do it, but we have to as it's our job to enforce rent collection. So please don't let your rent get late. We don't allow smoking of cigarettes, e-cigs, vapes, marijuana, hookahs, or anything else that can be smoked in, on, or around the house. We definitely want the property taken care of and not smelling of these products, and we also want neighbors on good terms. Many people think and feel that smoking is a major nuisance, so if you have guests come over who smoke, ask them to go for a drive and smoke elsewhere. Seriously, don't have them smoke in the backyard, on the patio, or in the garage. You'll be fined and cited for it. We must know who's living in our homes, and we have the right to deny occupancy based on our requirements. An unauthorized occupant is anyone who stays at the home for 10 consecutive days or 15 days in a calendar year. Please do not move in a friend or family member without our permission. Our permission may require fees and that the individual qualify through our application process. The last thing we want is for the neighbors to call us complaining about parties happening at one of our properties. We want you to enjoy living on our property and for it to be your home. We ask that you and your guests simply treat it and your neighbors with respect. In general, in most areas, the noise regulations prohibit loud noise at night between the hours of 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. The regulations also set limits for extremely loud noise during daytime hours. So if you want to have a garage band or have big loud parties, you can, just not at our house. You can't be the host. We love pets as much as many of our residents. We simply need to have them approved by making sure they are not on our restricted breeds list, they will take care of the property, and they will not be a nuisance. Those with service and emotional support animals are also required to adhere to the same rules for properly maintaining the home. The following rules must be adhered to at all times. No unauthorized pets or animals. Always get permission from us, not forgiveness with the accompanying violation fees. No watching or babysitting someone else's pet or animal at our property for any given amount of time. No litter boxes on carpet because of the potential damage. No leaving pets or animals behind closed doors in carpeted rooms for extended periods of time. No leaving barking dogs unattended for extended periods of time. If you work all day, take your dog to a kennel or somewhere else. We have received complaints from neighbors of homes with barking dogs left inside all day. Animal droppings cause damage to lawns and yards. No leaving animal droppings in the yard. Please clean up immediately after your pet or animal as you do on a walk in public. Also, if you notice your animal or pet urinating in the same grassy area, please do whatever is needed to change their routine as to prevent further damage to the yard. If your pet or animal has a tendency to scratch at doors, door frames, weather stripping, floors, trim, carpet, etc., please do whatever is necessary to correct their behavior and fix the damage. If not, these damages may be costly for you to have corrected. If you submit a service request for maintenance, you will need to make sure your pet or animal is kenneled or put away to allow our maintenance team to take care of whatever is needed. Not doing so may result in delayed services and service fees. Because you are leasing a home from us, we have an obligation to know how the property is taking care of you and how you are taking care of the property. We have a right to enter. In most cases, we will provide you at least 24 hours notice via email, call, or text. On routine inspections, our team will use photo and video images to properly document the condition of the property. To feel more at home, you may want to make some adjustments. If your desired alterations are permanent, you will need to request permission in writing before any changes are made. Maintaining the property and having a quality home is very important to us. Unfortunately, this topic can be one of frustration for both the tenant and the landlord, which in large part is due to improper expectations being set on how maintenance is to be done and who is responsible for doing which parts of it. So in this section, we're going to go over it. As you are well aware, you are leasing a home. This is much different than staying in a hotel or an Airbnb. As a lessee, you have many more maintenance and upkeep responsibilities. For items you are responsible for but unsure of how to do them, please visit our DIY maintenance website at keyrentertulsa.com/DIY-maintenance, where you can find a lot of tips and how-to videos. You can also search for these tips on YouTube. Alright, here are your responsibilities. Furnace and or air conditioning filter replacement every 60 to 90 days. Depending on the property, we may change filters during routine inspections. Your changing of filters responsibility also applies to water and fridge filters and any other routine-based filter systems in the house. You may have noticed that our lease contains a no-holes policy. While it might sound strict, it is simply in an effort to maintain the quality and integrity of our walls. We recognize that in some cases your home may have some minor holes when you move in. Touching up holes like these can be very challenging. The paint most likely can't be matched completely due to sun fading, and mostly looks terrible. Like this. And this. We ask that you use 3M strips according to their specifications, and when you move out, you remove them properly by pulling down vertically on the tab. Check YouTube for how-to videos. Small pinhole nails like these may be okay, but you will need to fill and level them with white or matching toothpaste when you move. Yeah, I said toothpaste, but no more than 1 or 2 small pinhole nails per wall, or we may have to paint the wall in its entirety from wall to wall. If you get permission to put larger holes in the walls, you will need to patch the holes with appropriate spackle and sand them once dried, to a professional standard. This will reduce the cost to you, but do not paint. We will need to paint the wall. Interior and exterior light bulbs are your responsibility to maintain and replace. We recommend LED as they last a long time and reduce your power bill. Smoke and CO detector maintenance and batteries are your responsibility. We understand your home will be lived in and will not be spotless all the time. Whose is, right? We simply ask that you keep it tidy and clean according to generally accepted standards. Having a dirty home with clutter around is conducive to insects, deterioration of flooring, trim, and, well, it's gross and against the lease. Using rooms for storage of boxes and clutter is also against the lease, and definitely not what we want in our homes. If you have that much stuff, please get a storage unit. In the event of a gas or power disruption, it is your responsibility to relight the water heater and furnace. If needed, we suggest you recruit the assistance of a neighbor familiar with the process. Clogged sinks and toilets are your responsibility unless the issue is caused by the main line being backed up. Maintenance of garbage disposals is also your responsibility. To help with that, please pause this video to read a list of what is good and bad for a disposal. Oh yeah, and no candle wax in the disposal. Yeah, it happened. You can ask us for that story. If your disposal jams and shuts off, first hit the reset button found on the bottom, and use an Allen wrench for the manual crank to loosen up anything jammed. You may need to unplug the disposal and manually fish out any hard items. Bug and pest control is your responsibility. There are a lot of preventative solutions available at local hardware stores. Window coverings and screens, broken windows regardless of the cause except acts of nature, garage door remotes and sensors on the sides of the track, door locks and keys, and annual carpet cleaning are all your responsibility. Sprinkler heads and ensuring the system is working properly and making sure the system is watering properly and reporting to us if it is not is also your responsibility. You are responsible for snow removal and ice removal unless specified otherwise in the lease. The sidewalks and driveway will need to be cleared within 48 hours. You will need to disconnect the water hoses from exterior water spigots by November 1st each year. Not doing this can cause serious damage, which you will be responsible for. You are responsible for ensuring heat is on at all times during the winter, at least at 60 degrees. Please report if there is an issue with the furnace, and never shut off the furnace if you leave town during the winter. If so, pipes could freeze and a lot of damage can be caused. The exterior of our properties is very important to be well maintained. If you are not familiar with the process, we suggest you contact us about having it hired out. Unmaintained lawns and yards can be costly to restore, and there's a reason for complaints from neighbors and violations. Mowing, trimming, edging, and applying weed and feed are all part of maintaining the lawn, which are your responsibilities unless specified otherwise in the lease. Now, we don't need the lawn and yard to look like this, but allowing the grass to grow like this will ruin it. This and this will only cause issues. You will need to weed and maintain the flower beds, and trim and maintain the bushes and shrubs. Please do fall and spring yard cleanup of leaves and other debris, and report overgrown trees, especially if the tree is hitting the house, which can cause additional damage. Okay, so for all the other property maintenance we as a landlord are responsible for, I want to briefly explain the process and expectations. You will need to submit the work order online through your tenant portal. That tenant portal can be found at KeyrenterTulsa.com. Please provide photos to help us and our technicians. You will need to be prepared to troubleshoot over the phone with the technician. The technician will also need access in order to get the job done. We rely on you to assist with coordinating a time when they contact you. You will need to keep pets or animals kenneled or put away. For assistance with emergency maintenance, please call 918-351-7000 and press option 9 to reach one of our maintenance representatives who can help in diagnosing and dispatching. Be prepared to troubleshoot and be able to send photos if possible. So what is considered a maintenance emergency? Fire, please call 911 before calling us. Flood, you'll be instructed to shut off water at the nearest valve and the main shutoff in the house. Turn on the sink to drain the lines and begin containing the leak while someone is dispatched. Extreme cold in winter, and in some cases lack of AC in the summer. Sewer backup, and no water. In the case of no water, please call the water company and troubleshoot with them before calling us. An emergency is not a non-working appliance, disposal, light, etc. If something breaks down, floods, stops working, etc., it's our responsibility to address the issue in a reasonable amount of time. For most urgent items, that time frame is 3 days, although we want things done sooner, of course. Non-urgent, yet required items we want completed within 7 days or sooner. Please let us know if this timeline is not being met by our team or our maintenance vendors. If something breaks down, floods, stops working, etc., it is our responsibility to address the issue and also to pay for the repair. You are not entitled to a rent credit for inconvenience, just as a homeowner is not entitled to a rent credit from their mortgage company. This is a common misconception among many renters, which may stem from the hotel service world. In a long-term relationship, the owner is responsible for the cost of the repair, and the tenant is responsible for the rent, even when it comes with inconveniences, and sometimes the lack of use of rooms or functionality of part of the home. A 60-day notice is required when moving out. The required written notice can be found and submitted online at KeyrenterTulsa.com/tenants. Please follow the move-out instructions also found on the same tenants page. Since you don't need to clean after your move-out, we expect you to leave it broom clean. I hope this video has been helpful. We look forward to a great relationship with you as we both strive to take great care of this property. Thanks for watching.